Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talking with a Dad, episode 13. Lucky number 13, many cultures may say, Steve, including yours. You're a lucky number 13 culture over there at the.
I'm doing that thing for the sponsors where you talk really low and you scratch the mic. It's gonna make people watch the show.
No. We don't do that. We're a loud podcast.
What is that stuff called again?
That's called ASMR.
Oh man, that stuff's horrible.
I can't do it either. A lot of people go to sleep to it, apparently. It stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
That sounds like hippie talk for take over your mind.
I agree. So how are you this evening, Stevie?
I'm doing good. I feel like I sound great.
So you do have a new mic. New mic.
It's right there. I have a small person holding it for me. There's actually no boom arm. It's just a tiny man. It's a
little gremlin. All right. So we got you a mic.
Good.
Your audio quality is up to. I'm still a little sick. I still have a cough left over from whatever this illness is that I've had for 3 weeks now.
Yeah,
it's been a long time. I usually don't get sick this long. I usually don't, but for some reason I can't quite kick the cough that I have.
That's a good government job you got, man. You're exposed to a more high class germ, you know?
Yeah, you know what? It might be. It might be exactly that. I can't confirm nor deny. I'm not even allowed to say that I work for the government. So you kind of just outed me there.
Well, no one knows what government Iran that you work for.
Oh my God. Oh, no, that is not true. Although
it's
I
funny
can be bought.
When you worked at the school, you would think that would be the epitome of where you get sick. We had a coworker that got pink eye like 8 times or something, right?
I thought it was 12.
I thought you lose your eyes after 6, but
we found out. You do not. Actually, let's give a shout out to that coworker. Twitch.tv/daftmeat, who's been doing a little bit of streams recently. I actually watched a stream the other night and actually enjoyed it, and genuinely enjoyed it.
Yep.
He's
a funny guy.
Yeah, he is really, and he's super quick-witted. So it really works well for Twitch back and forth with banter. But I will watch my friends stream.
Right.
Just as a supportive friend. I don't always enjoy all of them, but Daft Meats I enjoyed. So shout out Daft Meat. We appreciate you.
He handles things really well too.
He does,
even glitches and stuff like that. His sense of humor comes through so well.
Yeah.
I'm like, is he messing with me right now?
No, Steve hates glitches, which is the hilarious part.
There's no room.
He can't stand it. He can't. It happens, and then suddenly he is angry and blacks out after that. Frankly,
woke up in Mexico one time with someone else's computer. Like, what just happened?
Whoa! I gotta fly back to Canada after this.
Oh man, we got some pretty cool.
We got some pretty all over the topics tonight, actually.
Yeah, Zach really took the steering wheel and just he took some Robitussin and he went in today.
No, I don't know. I've never taken a Robitussin before, but I did make these topics while I was pooping, so it was the best time. I had time to think to myself before I played Tarkov, and it was a monumental moment.
I was playing Jedi Star Wars Fallen Order last night.
Yeah.
And I went in super aggressive because I was like, this is not going to become another Witcher situation for me, right? I'm like, I got stuck at this one part the other night. And I calmly took this remote right here in my hand, put it down in front of the keyboard, pushed myself away from my computer, and just walked away. The angriest I've ever been.
I mean, so when things like that happen, I keep a spare controller around. This is actually a PS3 controller.
It's a cool looking one though.
It's a Campbell one. Came for Modern Warfare 3. Oh, look at the focus. It's beautiful. Came for Modern Warfare 3, but it's it's cracked. Yeah. I keep this one around as a dummy controller that I could throw when I get angry. And you know what? To be honest with you, it never actually happens that way. I usually break the controller that's in my hands.
There you go. You reach for the dummy controller. You're like, no, this is going to be more satisfying. I went in so aggressive.
PS3 controller or PS4 controllers left, I don't think.
Dude, I gotta tell you, kind of psyched looking at these mock-ups for the PS5 controller. At the very least, I'm like, I think they're gonna burn a lot of bridges with that. I didn't want to make this a topic.
You know, I didn't actually see the PS5 controller. Is there an actual rendering of it?
No, just mock-ups or like industry leaks. I have the one that you sent me, and then I've seen a few others, but I think the one that you sent me is probably the most believable.
Oh, is that the one that we talked about like weeks ago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's just a fairly standard. It's like a slightly bigger PS4 controller, right?
Yeah, and it's got paddles.
Oh, and it has the paddles built in.
Yeah.
And is it also wired by default or no? What I'm looking at, I'm looking at the dev kit, a picture of the dev kit for the PS5. This is confirmed the dev kit for the PS5. That little the box with like the V cut into it.
Yeah.
That is confirmed.
Let's see. Looks pretty. I don't know, man. I will say this: they really did manage to make a buzz with just a logo, huh? Not all of it was positive, of course.
It was all very negative, actually. Oh, actually, here's the patent for the triggers. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, I am not going to buy this console. Not because I hate consoles, which I do. Not because I think that there aren't going to be exclusive this generation, which I don't. I think they're all coming to the PC. I'm happy with my setup. I don't need to add to it. I don't need to remove from it. I am happy with my setup the way that it is.
You should be happy, man. You got a pretty baller setup. I mean, last time I checked, streaming PC, right? Not something you get in a third world country. Got your main rig, got a mixer, right?
All of these things, all of the above. Got a Stream Deck.
There is one thing you'll probably
add.
Got a
sweet mic. What is it? Is it a Nintendo Switch?
No, you're probably gonna add a DAC. I can see it in your eyes.
No, I am. Could my audio get better? A little bit. There's room for improvement. There always is, right? Does it need to be better at this moment? No. No. I think I am perfectly within my realm of existence, right?
Yeah.
At some point, do I want it to be better? Maybe. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it for sure. At this moment, I don't need any better audio. I think it's pretty good. And I'm glad that yours is like 2/3 of the way there.
I'm almost there, man.
You were 1/10 of the way there before, and sometimes you dip below that. Now we're about 1/3 of the way there. 2/3 of the way there, sorry.
Now I'm here. You see how I did that?
Yeah. It's like a weights and balances.
It's right over there. Yeah, and I was actually listening to some of the first Gaming with the Dads, and then I listened to just my recording that I sent you to edit and everything. And
Very
I was like,
good.
Very
good. I've done some work for balancing on audio in these videos. I have 3 videos edited already for next week, which is I'm ahead of schedule. I usually by this point I have 2.
That's right.
I could have had 4. I could have edited last night, but I opted not to. Actually, I was actually at work late. So yeah, so I was at work late, so I decided I just want to come home and play games, kind of relax after, and not edit a video. Tonight, I actually had to make a stop on the way home. I still got home late, but I was like, you know what? I'm feeling editing tonight. So I edited a quick video, and by quick, it was not quick. But I'm happy with the content we're putting out. With that being said, we did a little bit of adding to our overall quality of the channel, I think, and we added a new graphic, a few new graphics actually.
Yeah, we got to give some shout outs on that. I'm just gonna pull it up, but go ahead, my brother. My
3D artist reached out. I said, hey, I need a graphic made. You guys will see it on Tuesday's video. Monday's video does not have it, specifically because of the way that I edited it. But Tuesday's video will have it. There's a little spinning icon of illustrations that Steve had done that have both of them on it, and it spins over our intro and just into the beginning of the video, and I think it looks really good. I was really happy with that animation. Were you, Steve?
I'm extremely happy with it. I'm like the way everything came out in general, just Looks amazing.
I thought the animation was actually really, really well done. So I was super happy with that. I don't know if she's actually taking commission or not, so I should probably reach out and find out if she is, and we'll give her a shout out in the next episode if she is. But at this moment, I don't want to. Do you have the images pulled up, or do you want me to show them? Because I have them on my phone.
Pull them up.
I got them. So this is the first one. If it'll focus, focuses perfectly actually. Illustration, and the second one, which I actually think is the better one. I think this is the better one. I do. If it'll focus, please. Thank you.
Boom.
I think that's the better one. But
artwork done by my big older brother, Clarence, aka the Big Black Cat, aka Dark. I can't pronounce the rest of that, but I'll leave a link. I'll get it to Zach, and we'll leave it in. Thank you to my big bro for doing that. We appreciate it.
Illustrations are incredible. We're gonna have to decide which one of those we're gonna use as the new Gaming with the Dad logo, but we are for sure gonna use one of those. We're gonna keep the banner the same. We're gonna keep the edge of the border around the podcast the same, because I kind of dig that in the way that it actually comes out. But excuse me, for sure one of those is going to become our logo going forward.
And again, if you want to reach out to either one of these individuals, I know Zach said he's going to take a second before he posts his connect, but I'll get him the links for my brother who did the illustration. And I think actually I would love to big up the 3D animator, because I can't wait to show that to my brother.
For sure. You know. It's incredible, right? It's incredible. And did you notice the way that it shines on the actual?
I did get that. I did catch that.
Yep.
It came out really.
I thought it really good.
I think the kids say the word now, boss, Skrilla deep down dive, Dobby dips.
Yeah, that's exactly what they say. I've heard recently. That's the phrase that they say right there. What you had just said. Someone clipped that and sent it to us. And we'll get that made on a t-shirt.
They did have a spoon in their mouth when they were saying it, and they were shaking uncontrollably, but...
Hey, you know what? Whatever gets them to shut up, right?
Brutal. I see Tarkov has made it this way.
Listen, you know what? That was an optional one. When I put an ellipses after something, it generally means it's an optional topic. If you want to bring it up, you can. You know, I don't know how interested you are in the Escape from Tarkov talk, as much as I am interested in it.
Hold on for a second. I don't play it, and I won't ever play it. Right? Chances are I'll never play it again.
Don't say ever.
I think I'll get deeper into Rainbow Six before Tarkov, which every now and then I like to log into that game. Like, you know, I'm feeling too good about myself. I want to bring myself down a notch. Stop feeling myself. But I watch a lot of people play. Watch Shroud play. Watch you play. Obviously, was watching Greg play the other night. Watching Big Reg play, and it's a fun game to watch. Were
you in the stream when I baited Greg and friends into the factory run?
No, I wasn't.
So I come into his chat and I'm like, hey, listen, let's go do a factory run. They're like, well, I've never spawned in a factory. And they were all like, wow, we've never spawned in a factory. I'm like, factory's easy. Factory's this little tiny map that's actually like, if you learn the map, it's pretty easy, but it's the most engagement you're going to get in Tarkov, right? I had 7 kills before I died, and I died first. Greg had 0. Russo had 0. I heard the other guy we were playing with actually works at the school. And he had 5. And we were and I ran out. I was like, I'm bored. And I just ran out and shot the guy in front of me, but there was also a guy behind me. So I was like, all right, I'm dead. Good luck, guys. And then just left.
You left the chat?
I didn't leave the chat, but I muted myself as if I had. I kind of let him sweat it out a little bit. Turns out they all died. It was my job to get them out, and they all died, and that's what I like.
What is is there any way to track how many players playing right now, Tarkov?
I don't think that number is actually available. I could look it up, but players playing Tarkov. I'm not sure. Player count. Yeah, there's no definitive number.
The reason I ask is because I got to tell you, it is. So remember we talked about it last week, and it was talking about how streamer friendly it is. And so I'm just going through doing my usual 2:00 in the morning research on things when I should be sleeping. And I was like, you know what? This is very streamer friendly. Like people had time to engage with their chat. I saw one guy just get up and straight up walk away while the game was active. Got himself a sandwich, came back, and then I was like, well, you know what? That's really relaxing. Let me just jump over to something less relaxing. So I went over to Scump's channel for a little bit. I was like, oh, this shit is way different.
He's incredible, isn't he?
I'm like, but there was an intensity watching that game that just wasn't going on. Now, I will admit, I sometimes get a little antsy waiting for something to happen in Tarkov, and then when it does pop off, I get a little scared. Like I actually jumped the other night watching someone stream.
So I will go on record and say Tarkov is a horror game before it is anything else. Because the game is so silent, because there is like a slight breeze going through the trees, because you can hear scurrying and footsteps and distant gunfire. And then when that crack hits and it hits next to you, it is loud and it's jarring. It is scary. It is a very scary game.
And this is just a beta. I can't get over that, man.
Well, okay, so it's in beta for like 2 years though. This is more, when is full release going to be? We're not sure. So, I'm hesitant to say it's a beta because we're now in just extended testing beyond what a beta period really should be. A beta period should be a short 3 to 6 month period, I think.
Did you ever see the clip that got turned into kind of a soundbite that got turned into an article where Shroud was talking about he doesn't think Tarkov would translate well for console players? And I thought that was pretty interesting. Of course, a lot of people got instantly upset. Actually, you know what? We have time for a quick Steve rant. I almost forgot when we were giving that shout outs. Shout outs to Daft Meat. You are one hell of a Warframe player. An unbelievable skill level. I meant to say
he's
that
incredible.
Earlier.
Yeah.
he's really good. I just thought about that.
So do you want me to explain to you why Shroud's right? You could not translate Tarkov onto a controller. There's too many controls.
Okay.
So in Tarkov, like a regular game, you could stand, you could crouch, and you could lay down.
Right.
So in between standing and crouching, there's actually like 8 different levels that you could go to. You could crouch, you could stand up all the way, a little bit, little lower, little lower, little lower, full crouch, and then even a little bit lower. Like you even crouch down a little bit more, right? So there's that. You can't translate that. You cannot translate to a controller at all. You can, for you to figure out how much ammo you have to check your magazine, right?
Right.
So there's a control. It's Control T. It's a button combination for you to pull your gun up, take the mag out, look into it, mag back in. When you spawn in as a scav, your first thing you should be doing is checking if there's one in the chamber. There's a button combination to flip the gun over, pull the lid back, check if there's one in the chamber, right? You could change your firing mode. There's a button to check and see which firing mode you're on. There's lean. There's extended lean. Both sides. There's ADS. There's you can have like 4 different scopes, right? And there's a control right click, or no, alt right click will change in between which scope you're set to. You can have canted rails, so there's a scope on the side of the gun instead of just on the top. You can have a scope on top of your scope. Like, there are so many different button combinations of what you can do with just your gun. I didn't even, that was pretty much just your gun, right? You can't translate that to a controller because then you're doing left D-pad, aim down sight to zoom, right D-pad, aim down sight to switch which gun or which scope you're looking down, right? Up on the D-pad and aim down sight to turn the laser sight on. Up on D-pad, aim down sight to toggle through your laser settings. There's laser brightnesses you could set, laser colors you could set. Do you want to do a laser plus a flashlight? Just a flashlight.
Horrible. All of that sounds horrible, dude.
But it's really not, right?
No,
it's
on
really,
the controller. On the controller.
Oh, on a controller, it's a nightmare because you're using so many different modifiers to get that. Like, I'm using, on a regular basis when I'm playing Tarkov, I'm using Alt, Control, Shift, WASD just to move, QE, R, T, O, CV. Like, I'm using all of these. B, like, there's just so many key commands that you couldn't move that to a controller. But then everyone's like, well, they moved PUBG to a controller, right? But they dumbed the game down to move PUBG.
Is there like a noticeable difference?
The entire looting system is different. Right? Because the inventory system on PUBG, you use your mouse to move things around, right? You don't have a mouse on a controller. So they have to modify it so you can select through it either way with a D-pad. Call of Duty, Black Ops 4 had Blackout in it. The inventory system is different because you can't use a mouse and keyboard. You can't use a mouse. So you have to scroll through side to side what you want to loot. You can't do that with Tarkov. It ruins the entire sense of the game to dumb it down so it fits on a controller. It isn't a game. I didn't even talk about what kind of hardware specs you need to run the game, but it isn't a game that would work well on a controller for sure.
So you're playing Tarkov right now. Everyone's into it. I've seen it. I've seen it go up, and it's even a Mixer. It's spiking right now. People are all playing it. Any thoughts on what the next big thing might be? And there's always some. Don't you tell me in gaming. Don't you tell me I don't know, because there's always something looming in the background that people are already chattering about.
I would have to look.
Okay.
Call of Duty will pick up when COD League starts at the end of this month.
Very excited. I got that thing you sent me, so I don't have to ask you. You were waiting for me to ask, but I have it now.
It starts on the 24th. They've changed the way that it works like 3 times in the last few weeks.
I think this is going to be the last one.
The way that the change?
No, I think this is going to be the last one that people care about, to be honest with you.
Call of Duty?
No, not the game. The last league tournament type situation.
This is the first year of the Call of Duty League.
Wait, what? Then what the hell were they playing before?
They would play just tournaments. So you would go to MLG Anaheim, and then I think the circuit literally, if I remember correctly, was Anaheim, Columbus, Miami. Then they would do one in Texas, and then they would go to Anaheim again, I think. There was 2 Anaheims a year, and then they would have champs.
Anaheim.
Oh, Vegas. CA? Sorry, Vegas, Anaheim, and then start. Okay, California. Yeah. Anaheim was huge. They
Shout out to Anaheim.
No. Well, Anaheim is where Disney World is, right?
Yeah, I should know this because I've been there multiple times and I lived there for a little bit. But yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I remember eating at the quick tangent story here. I remember eating at the Cheesecake Factory outside of Disney.
Delicious.
Right on the left side when you're going away from Disney.
Thank God.
And getting a call from Reggie at 11 o'clock California time. So that's what, 2 a.m. here?
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, do you want to go to PAX next month? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, well, I already bought tickets. I'm like, all right, I'll buy the Airbnb. Let's go. And then setting up PAX.
Wait, did he buy your tickets?
Yeah, and I bought the Airbnb. I got screwed on the deal, but I bought the Airbnb.
Did you guys? Where was your Airbnb again?
I don't remember.
It was like some hard ass part of Dorchester or something.
It was. I think it was. I remember day one walking to CVS around the corner and was positive that I was gonna have to turn around and fight 3 kids. Positive.
Why? What were they saying to you? Could you
Nothing. They weren't saying anything to me. But when you're in a group and you're talking, right, and then all of a sudden you get real quiet as you're getting closer to a group in front of you, usually there's going to be some sort of confrontation.
Right.
So I was like, all right. I was like, all right. I get one good crack in before I have to take off. Because there's 3 of them. I don't think Reggie's going to help. I think Reggie's going to run or cry. One or the other.
Reggie's going to get in. I could tell. He's going to get it in. You just looked me dead in the eyes.
I have one good crack, and if I drop one of them, then all right, we got one more. Right?
Yeah.
We keep getting one until one of them doesn't die.
Listen, those Dorchester kids, they fight to the bone. So it's
not
like
I was screwed.
It's not like when you knock out some I don't want to disrespect anyone's hood, but certain gang members, you can knock one out and the rest will scurry. You knock one of those kids out, and then his brother's coming out of nowhere. Here comes his cousin. You know what I'm saying? It's just like his uncle, who's, you know what I'm saying? Like they all start coming out of left field. So that's a good look.
Yeah,
I remember when you told me, I almost spit my drink out. I'm like, what do you say? You're like, oh, it's Mary in Dorchester. I'm like,
like, no! It was actually, you know what? Actually, it turns out it was really nice.
It was good.
The neighborhood wasn't, but
Airbnb. Pretty nice.
Was incredible. So
you ever seen that movie, Gone Baby Gone? I think that's. I'm not even sure if that's filmed in Dorchester, but probably scared a lot of people from going there. It's got Ben Affleck's little brother in it. It's a good movie.
No, this isn't that bad.
I said it's a good movie.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. No, I've never seen the movie. What tangent did we start on there? Were we talking about Tarkov?
Oh wait, listen. Yeah, we were talking about Tarkov, and Dorchester could be aboard in Tarkov. But here's the thing: one of my favorite rappers to listen to when I'm just like, he's on the same list as Vinny Paz and Immortal Technique, is this rapper from Boston, and I forget his name. I'm gonna send it to you. He's been in a couple of movies with Ben Affleck and that Gone Baby Gone movie. This dude's off the hook, but I'm not gonna shout him out right now. But Tarkov.
Is it Carol?
Can't do it. No, what's his name? Don't. That doesn't make for good content. Now you're gonna have. Now I gotta look.
Is it Ill Bill?
I think it is Ill Bill.
Because his name is in. People also search for Vinny Paz.
Hold on a second. Let me just look up the Gone Baby.
He's from Brooklyn. He's not from.
No, that's not Ill Bill. Let me just look up the cast. You keep talking here.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, you keep talking. Keep talking about Tarkov.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about Tarkov for days. I'll talk about Tarkov for days. So one of the things I like about doing a Tarkov now is I'm not the best player. I wouldn't even consider myself a good player, but I know the maps. So I can bring people in who don't and teach them the map. It's kind of fun. It wouldn't work with you because we would just start and arguing with each other and then shooting at each other. And then I would kill you and you'd be like, what just happened?
His name's Slain. Best. He's got a song called 99 Bottles. Amazing.
Slain?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that name. Anyway.
At any rate. Anyway,
back to the Call of Duty League. Starts January 24th in Minnesota. It's at the Minnesota Rocker Stadium out there. It's the only thing actually in Minnesota, to be fair.
Ooh, that's not true. Got some dope rappers out there. Shout out to Brother Ali.
And you got the Timberwolves.
Dave Chappelle's sister lives there.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's true.
It's probably not true. The Minnesota Wild. No. Shout out to the Minnesota Wild.
100%. Dave Chappelle's sister lives in Minnesota.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
Oh my god. Dave Chappelle sister. Felicia?
Bah.
No, anyway, so it starts out in Minnesota. You got the Huntsman playing Dallas Empire first game. Chicago Huntsman, Dallas Empire first game, and then it goes into trash teams after that. But yeah, it's interesting.
So they also break it down.
Huntsman also play Optic Gaming.
Oh, okay. So it's not an elimination first game.
The way that it works is if you win a game, you're getting 10 COD League points. And then where you place in the tournament, you also get a number of points for the season. And then after that, there'll be a playoffs and a championship. I sent you a link with all of this information.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I looked at it, looked like hieroglyphs.
No, I mean, it was just math. It's just simple math, which I know you struggle with. I've seen that a few times. So that's all right. With
simple math?
Just math. It's all right. It's all right, dude. It's all right. Everyone has their expertise. Yours is not math.
Listen to me. I work at a school, and I'm the math teacher.
Yeah, but no. You're more of like the old, almost retired gym teacher.
No,
the one who doesn't care
good.
anymore. The one who kind of just like lays
if anything, I'm the guidance counselor that cares too much. You are definitely the disgruntled gym teacher. That's like one more comment away from getting banned from the school.
I was not anywhere near getting banned.
I can see you in the short shorts now, smoking a cigarette with the whistle. 4 more laps, Billy. So where are you placing your hopes with the COD League? What early predictions? What do we got? I know you want to make
this is the wrong game for the COD League to have come out.
Okay.
I think the game is, I don't even know if I want to say universally disliked, but there are so many issues that I see a lot of the community having with the game that it's almost like I don't think many people are going to watch it, which is unfortunate because this is actually a really good game for Search and Destroy, which is the most exciting game mode to watch in Call of Duty. This is a really good game for Cyber Attack, which is a new game mode, but I like the aspect of Search and Destroy, but being able to revive your teammates and get them back up. Now, the only issue is those aren't the only game modes you have to play. They are still playing Domination instead of Hardpoint from what I saw, but I hope they actually add Hardpoint in. The respawn games in this game aren't that good. The One Life games are amazing, I think, but the respawn games I think are actually really lackluster. So, we'll see, but it's, I don't know. Black Ops 4 season was really good, but to me, no season beats Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghosts. Those are the 3 best for me. Modern Warfare 3 is really actually kind of a universally hated game because of how like weird the system was with the pick 10. But I thought the competitive in Modern Warfare 3 was really good. But Black Ops 2 and Ghost for me are the 2 best competitive games.
Since we started off on Tarkov, what do you think of the chances we see some type of competitive scene for Tarkov?
No, right. It can't happen. No. It can't. It's not that. It's not that kind of game. It's not. It's literally not even a discussion.
Not even a discussion. Can't happen. Won't happen.
No, it can't happen. It's not. It's not that kind of game.
You won't hear anything about it,
other than you saying it right now, which is bothering me. You have to understand. Even in an aspect, Fortnite isn't a competitive game, right? For different reasons. PUBG isn't a competitive game for different reasons. But this is a game that relies on spending 150 hours to get your character leveled up and get your items and then going into a raid. It's just not that kind of game. I can't believe you. Why would you even? What are you watching when you watch Tarkov?
Huh?
How do you even see any level of competitiveness in that?
See, this is what you just call open-ended questions. So I asked a question to draw.
You knew
more
it was
going
to bother me. You.
It's what I did in my profession. In my
you bothered people. You piece of.
What else we got going? I don't know if I want to do number 3, man. I don't know.
That was in there for me because I thought that was funny.
Okay. You might as well tell the people what you.
No, I will not. I will not. That was an in-between joke.
What to play after Borderlands 3?
What do we play after Borderlands 3? This is a really good open-end question. Right?
Okay.
What kind of game do we want to play after Borderlands 3? Do we want to go mess around on Destiny for a while? Probably will happen. Right? Yeah. We'll probably get some Destiny back in there. Do we want to go play a multiplayer game? Halo or Call of Duty.
Actually, I've been wanting to play Halo. Are you guys still playing that at all? Or no?
I've exclusively played Tarkov for a few weeks now. I don't have time to play Halo. But if you guys wanted to ping me when I'm playing and say, "Hey, you want to play Halo?" I would for sure go play.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
I've noticed that when you talk about Tarkov, your voice goes down a few decibels.
Well, listen, this is not the kind of game for a high-pitched voice, right? It's a very serious.
It's not a game for a guy that sounds like this.
Yeah. If you sound like that, you definitely can't play Tarkov.
That's a Fortnite player.
That's it. Yeah, realistically, that's a Fortnite player, and probably a Call of Duty player.
At this point,
yeah.
What do I want to play? I don't know, man. So I want to play a shooter. That's it, right? I don't mind if we play a strategy game or something like that. I just it's got to be something that captures my, really captures my attention. But I would prefer to stick with a shooter. But I don't know, man. I got to tell you, I've not yet to play anything that took me in the way the Division did.
Yeah, the Division does that really well. Man, we could do a run through the Division, but that's going to be 2 weeks worth of content.
2 weeks? Wait, with our OP characters?
No. Like make new characters and start over. It's gonna be like 2 weeks worth of content.
Can I tell you something that I do sometimes? Sometimes I just log into the Division 2 and just look at my character. I'm like, you beautiful son of a bitch.
It really should. There should be an asterisk that says Zach actually made this character. You moron.
No, I got him to where he needed to be. I put in the hours.
Well, I made the base. I was like, hey Steve, you gotta get rid of these guns. You gotta put a real gun on. Oh, you gotta upgrade your equipment.
You know that one guy from the school, the other supervisor that got transferred. He brings
that joke.
Yeah, he brings that up every time. He's like, I'll never forget that time. But at any rate, so we can't play it. Here's what I was thinking. Nobody's gonna watch, but I'm just saying this. And Zach, I want you to pay attention now. I'm only saying this for the sake of conversation. A part of me almost wants to play the Division 1, but I know no one's going to watch that. People will see that in their feed and they'll be like, nope. But a part of me wants to play through that just because I enjoy that level, that type of play.
It was really good.
Not that great. And then that's what I was expecting with Ghost Recon, but you know what I got instead?
A disappointment.
Totally different game. A huge, sometimes not so disappointing, other times extremely disappointing.
Yeah.
Wildlands looked like a lot of people had fun playing it.
It was trash. I hated that game.
We'll probably play Destiny. You said something about Far Cry.
I don't want to play Far Cry. I was just saying co-op games. Really what I want to run through is stuff that would be fun, right?
Yeah.
I want to play Payday, I think. I keep mentioning Payday. You keep kind of denying me on that. I want to play Payday 2 because I've only ever played very minimal of it, and I think that would be a fun game for us to play.
Okay.
Obviously, we're gonna keep mixing the Halo, the Call of Duty, the other stuff. Actually, maybe not COD. We're gonna leave Call of Duty out. I haven't played the game in weeks, so I don't intend on playing it. Mix the Halo.
You've been a much happier person.
Yeah, we'll play maybe the new Diablo when it comes out eventually. I like Diablo a lot. Yeah, there's some stuff that we want to play, but the more important thing about this question was if you guys have suggestions on what you want us to play or have a suggestion of what you think we would have fun playing or what would make good content, because those are not always mutually exclusive, leave it down below. That's really what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I want to know what the people want to see and what you guys think we would have fun on. I really think Portal would be a good game.
I'm looking at Payday right now, and I might actually. I think I'm looking at Payday. Oh, this is Payday 2. Any good?
Payday 2. That's the one we would play because it's newer. But it's a bank heist game. It's a heist game. I think it would be a lot of fun because it's going to require us to cooperate a little bit. A little more than what we have to. We can always play Tarkov.
Nah, it's a friendship ender right there.
No, it's a friendship builder.
We're like, Steve. Wait, Steve's out of shot. Where is he? And I just come up behind you.
I have a knife.
You know, we haven't played in a while. We have fun playing off camera, but you got to admit we had a great time when we were playing CS:GO.
So I can only have so much fun with CS:GO. Right. When we were playing and we were playing against each other and doing like gun game or whatever. Yeah. That was fun. But really what they would want us to do or what we should do is go in and play competitive CS. But I wouldn't have fun with that.
The way you described it, it just sounds like it's riddled with the worst type of people.
Hackers and just not fun people. Yeah. We should do an episode where we go back to our roots and kind of go through some fundamentals that you may feel like you're lacking or feel like you're really doing good on. CS:GO is a good game to do that on. And we should do something like that. Try to really get back into.
Actually, that was the game that kind of turned the curve for me. Playing that night, we played for like 4 hours straight that one night.
We did play for a long time, yeah.
I was like, oh, this is starting to feel more and more more natural.
Yeah.
Phrasing. I could play this game. I could play Payday though.
Only
Only other thing I can think of, what does not make for good content, mixing in some fighting games finally. But I was watching people stream Street Fighter, and it just dawned on me, not only is the audience really small, but the gameplay is at a certain level with certain people where it's like, this is not even fun to watch.
It would not be fun to watch you beat me up in Street Fighter.
No, not you. I'm saying like the only way I'm going to have any real chance of like having it is by playing people coming into a game, and those guys are sick. I didn't tell you that I got all my XP points taken away in one fair swoop, and it was horrible. I did tell you.
Tell me, yeah.
God damn it!
But
so that's
at a certain level, fighting games are fun to play, but not fun to watch.
Except for Smash, there's nothing fun about Smash.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, we're gonna do Payday.
Let's do some Payday. And if we get stuck, we can bring some people in.
What people are we going to bring in? You know people?
I know people. I have people for this kind of thing.
What kind of people?
They're not good people, but they're people.
What about World War Z, man? You really did, on a scale of 1 to 10.
That was a 2. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever played, but I don't want to play it again.
I remember the night you decided you weren't playing anymore. When we just were playing on like what was it like?
Oh
crazy
my God. Whatever the extreme, but it was like extreme plus. It's like, hey, you beat it on medium. Do you want to try the hardest thing you've ever done? No. It turns out that I didn't. And it's not that I don't like playing hard games, it's that I don't like playing that game when it's impossible.
Yeah, it's the margin for error was so small. I remember we had one really good run, and one zombie got through and took out everybody. I'm like, this is not happening. This guy one zombie didn't just kill Pete.
It wasn't
Shane,
it.
Zach.
It wasn't it, man. It wasn't.
Payday it is.
Okay. Payday's on the list. I don't know how much you're going to like Payday, but Payday's on the list.
Well, I'm looking at it. It looks like I got to tell you, it looks like I can't do Grand Theft. I can't do that.
No, but when the new one comes out, we are playing Grand Theft.
When does the new one come out?
It's not announced.
Okay.
So 2022.
There was some shooter game I sent you. I'm not going to do it. Don't worry. I'm not going to go on a rampage looking for it. But I was like, I want to play this. But you like shot it down. You're like, no, this game looks stupid. And I can't remember what the name of the game is.
Is it Project A?
Yeah, I think that's
You
it.
keep saying this, and I don't keep saying it's stupid, but it's going to be made. It's going to be made by Riot. It's going to be a Counter-Strike.
No, that's not it. No, I sent you another game. It was another one.
We've been over this before. It probably looks like garbage.
See, I need to start writing this stuff down. All right, well, so we'll start there.
Yeah, we'll start with Payday. You know what I really want is a new Battlefield. And a new one just came out in 2018.
You want to get it unless you want to get into Dauntless.
No, I mean I've played it, but no, I'm okay.
Your girl is really deep into that game.
I don't know who that is that you're referring to, and I don't want to know, to be honest.
What's her name? Amaranth?
Amaranth? I don't know how that's such a hard thing to say, you fucking weirdo.
She's into that game. She was, I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
She plays games, I know that. E3 this year is in June. We should go to E3.
Good and goddamn well, I can't go to E3.
Why not?
Yeah, it would literally have to be a sponsored event where they paid for myself and the entire clan to come. Because there's no way I'm leaving my poor wife with these 3 psychopaths while I go watch people play video games. I think there are things that bring relationships to a screeching halt, and that will definitely be one of them. Like,
dude, 3 days in LA? You did years in LA.
Yeah. Let me paint the scenario for you. Like, hey, babe. Work related?
They did a week in Florida.
Yeah. She wasn't on vacation that whole time. She was still with those psychopaths.
Right, she wouldn't be on vacation either. She'd be at home, like normal.
No. So here's what we do. You come watch the kids. Me and my wife will go to E3.
But there's not going to be any good commentary over the show.
No, she's really quick with it. She'll demoralize a bunch of people. Like, you guys all need to get jobs, you freaking losers.
I have a job.
How about this? You Skype me in, babe. Shout out to you. Zach is not really wanting me to leave you for 3 days to go play video games. I'm sure that's not what he's saying.
I'm saying we should go because it would be good content for the channel. Not
babe, you're coming with me to E3.
This is gonna get weird, Steve. This is gonna get real weird.
How much is that thing? How much does it even cost?
I don't look at price. What are you talking about?
Oh, spoken like a single man. Like, what is this money?
E3 ticket prices. Here we go. $250.
Woo!
But if you're the first, hold on. But if you're the first 100 people, it's 150.
It makes total sense. Is that a day or is that for the
that's for the 11th through the 13th of June.
Oh, that's not bad.
This year. Yeah.
That's not bad.
I'm just saying we should go.
Yeah. I'll be there. I promise.
Don't say that because I can make some things happen in the next few months.
We should go to Comic-Con.
No. I am hard vetoing that one. No, I mean, get it. Comic-Con. Yeah, you would enjoy Comic-Con. I would not enjoy Comic-Con in the slightest.
I think
I would be the one ridiculing people. You people should get jobs.
No. You'd be the one snugged up next to some cosplay girl.
No, I'm not one of those people, man. I'm good. I'm good. You know what? You're there doing a thing, and I can respect that. But I'm not going to
I just want to go to Comic-Con to tell you legit. I would go obviously to experience it with my kid, my oldest son, because my 2-year-old would get a kick out of it. But want to go to the panels. Always love hearing what the artists have to say. Want to hear and really, you can't go to any Comic-Con. You can't just go to New York Comic-Con, which, no disrespect, is a great Comic-Con. I've never been. Seen all the footage. You got to go to San Diego.
Comic-Con, San Diego, is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one where everything gets announced.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's the one. So, babe, we're going to San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to E3, making a lot of moves this year.
We're making a lot of moves. 2020, our year. We're taking over.
What else we got? Oh no, you put politics in there. You snuck that in there.
No, that's always been there. That's always been there. But that was just a one. That was a feeler one. That was like 3 and 4 were feeler ones. You made me delete 3.
Well, it's clear that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry is the biggest news going on right now. I don't know what else.
What is happening there? I don't even understand.
They are making a public exit from royal life, pulling back from the monarchy to find more financial independence. Which a lot of people, obviously in America and England, are blaming this on Meghan or Megan. I don't know that name right there. But in actuality, if we look at Prince Harry's resume, this is a guy who snuck into military service. You know what I'm saying? This is a man who's made his own way for quite some time now, and I think he's just continuing that trend of like paving his own way. Honestly, of all the royals, and I'm not a monarchy guy, but I actually have a great deal of respect for him to go into active combat. I believe his brother has an honorary position in the military. Don't quote me on that. I have to look it up. But this man actually served, and I believe saw combat too. So him and his wife, who has not been well received by the British tabloids and sometimes mistreated by the press, have decided to pull back, and they just want to do their own thing, and they want to be financially independent. They're still gonna. So the technical term is, they're no longer going to be senior members of the royal family.
The royal family is just a corporation, right? Let's be fair. They have no real power anymore.
They're figureheads.
They're figureheads. They're just a marketing corporation.
I think the Queen has a veto vote, though.
I don't think she does.
In Parliament. I'm not 100% sure.
I will do some research, as you apparently fanboy over what the royal family is doing.
Don't you ever say anything bad about Harry? No, this is just, it's in the news, man. And it's an interesting thing, because I was explaining to someone the other day, this is the first time you've seen this in a monarchy, and an active monarchy in quite some time. So one reporter actually stuck up for them on the Today Show London, And he said if he believes if Princess Diana was still alive, that if she saw what Harry was doing, she'd be really proud of him for standing up to the establishment of the monarch family. I mean, of the other royal family. And I have a thing where I respect people who are willing to pave their own way and find fiscal independence and kind of step back, even if I don't believe
potentially the richest family in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, this is another public L that the royal family is taking right now, and it is an L. Don't be deceived by that, because the brother of Prince Charles, he's caught up in some stuff right now. I don't know if you know that. I did an interview he shouldn't have done, and
that's my boy.
I actually love.
They no longer have a political or executive role.
None. So no vote in Parliament at all.
Yeah, this is from royal.uk.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that publication before. We live
literally the royal family's website.
You can't trust those websites.
That's true. So I don't care about any of this.
Is it saying that Microsoft is going out of business as well? And click on this link here, because that's when you know it's a good website. All right. I only get my news from two places: Rush Limbaugh and the prophet himself, Alex Jones.
InfoWars? I don't think we can say that on YouTube. We're gonna get banned, just like he did. What a crazy character lunatic that man is. But before we get away from all of this, I don't care.
I know you don't care, but what do you think about it?
I don't even know what any of this means.
Yeah, I don't know what it means.
I am so far removed, right, and from celebrities, couldn't give a shit, and from royal family, I don't even know what the implications of them leaving the royal family even have to do with me. I'm a U.S. citizen. 1770s.
No, you're not.
Oh, fuck. I forgot. I relinquished my citizenship.
It's finally dead. I thought I was going to be the one that could be out of there, but I knew that it was going to be you. I was like, he's either going to have a shirt on with his address or something.
Yeah, right.
We're Americans, guys, if you couldn't tell.
Anyway, it doesn't matter here. I don't care. Like, I don't know. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. That family doesn't do anything other than hold a shitload of money. And they sell merch. That's it. They're just glorified freaking e-girls.
Ooh, I hate it.
Also, one of the funniest things I've ever seen is a GIF of the Queen of England at like some event, and like cows walk in, and she's like, "Ooh, cows!" and like is like excited about cows, dude. Have you seen that GIF?
No.
I send that GIF to everybody. It's hilarious.
You know what? You just triggered a memory. So I don't know if you know this. I kind of monitor the independent film scene just to see what's going on in that world. And there is a movie coming out about the first cow to make its way to the American colonies, and we're gonna go see that. It's actually called The First Cow, and it's not a Disney movie. That? Yeah, we're going to see The First Cow.
Are you gonna buy my ticket?
I got you. It can't. It's an independent film. It's what, like $2?
But where are we gonna see it at?
I don't know. There's got to be somewhere to see independent films around here, right? Oh, there's one in town, not our town, the town over in the school.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go see this. The movie about cows?
You got to watch the trailer. It's amazing.
I will watch the trailer, which I don't ever do. I don't like trailers. I will watch a trailer, and if I throw up within my own mouth within the first 30 seconds, you have me.
I want you to think about you've seen Tropic Thunder before, right?
Yes.
Think about the trailers at the beginning of Tropic Thunder and that theme when you're watching this trailer.
Okay. All right.
So more politics, man. Plane got shot down. Or I'm saying allegedly.
Right. Clearly.
Let's
be fair. Clearly, plane got shot down.
All the information isn't in yet, but everyone with an intelligent opinion knows that this plane got shot down. Right now, I think they're surveying the wreckage. It was just determined.
There's a video.
There's an absolute video. But now we're trying to.
It got shot down.
Here's the thing, right? They have to say the word allegedly on any news outlet, right? So here's the thing. So the last thing I checked on it this morning was they were scouring the wreckage. They were looking at some of the information that they were possibly going to get from the black box.
Dude,
now,
you say that. I'm on the New York Times. Video verified by the New York Times appeared to show. Oh, appears. Fuck.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But it's clearly, that's why I started by saying anyone with an intelligent opinion knows what happened, right? But we're going to be mature about it, and we're going to assume that there could
wait a second. Updated on January 10, 2020. Iran says it unintentionally shot down Ukrainian plane.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Updated
what time did they update?
Update 8 minutes ago.
Okay, so when I was watching the news this morning, it was at 7 o'clock. That's
early, dude. That's early.
No, it was 7:30, 8 o'clock. I believe
I was already on the road. Never mind. Not that early.
But here's the interesting thing about that. So now that we got the update in there, thank you for that. What do we do, man?
So you know what I really care about? In the missile attack from or onto the U.S. Held base, right?
Right.
Did we have any casualties? I heard there were casualties from a news outlet. No, U.S. casualties. Were there any U.S. casualties? Trump said there were none. Trump came out in a press conference, said there were no U.S. casualties. We will not be taking action against Iran, right?
Yeah.
I saw somewhere that we lost 40 men.
Where did you see that?
In the attack. I don't know if I could even find it again. I might have made it up.
Was that is it an outlet that you would trust those numbers from?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Here we go. Casualties of Iranian missile attack. 50 missile fires, 80 killed.
80 killed.
Yeah.
Does it say how many were Americans?
I'm trying to look here. I don't know if it damaged, but it's clear so long as I at the base. Said 5 missiles towards the air base. Yeah, I keep saying it says no, but there is no way that we didn't lose anyone here.
Well, let me ask you a question. The attack on the consulate funded the attack, the protest that turned into an attack.
I didn't know
all I saw.
That.
Yeah, that happened before the. So before Suleiman, which was the response to the consulate, what happened? That's when Trump said, "Okay, actually, let me be mature about this." That's when that attack was. That's when that strike was, and they killed that guy Suleiman. Which, by the way, I'm not going to take a stance on it, but all you got to do is a little research on who that gentleman was, and for anyone that's like bleeding over that or hurting spiritually, you really obviously you haven't. You haven't looked at who this guy was. But at any rate, we lost one contractor in the consulate thing. And that's kind of like that spurred us on into that move. The accidental missile shooting of the plane is an interesting.
That's huge.
Word.
That's huge.
And there were American casualties and British.
Canadian. I thought they were Canadian.
From
the motherland.
Iranian. The Madre land.
Yeah.
There it is. I found the game. It's called Rush. Sorry about that.
Rush?
Yeah.
I don't know what. I don't think you've ever showed me this. Are you sure it's not Rust?
No. It's to be the 6th time. But Zach, what do you? Here's the thing. This is a friggin' TV show. This is not the game. Sorry.
What a clown. Rush game. Wow, it's from the 80s, dude. Get over your childhood. What are you gonna ask? Because we gotta get back into the topic here and stop getting distracted by some game we mentioned 30 minutes ago, Steven.
We were on the topic, and you were like looking through InfoWars trying to find out.
I was not on InfoWars. It's not a favorite.
So this is, as we look at it chronologically, how the situation develops. I can't help but point out to everyone that when you're looking at the right hand, you should definitely be looking at what the left hand's doing. And we still have an election coming up here. We also have the Democratic primaries getting ready to round. I believe the last debate may have already happened. And then Nancy Pelosi is supposed to send over, or may have sent over, the impeachment documents or whatever that's called to start those proceedings. So we got a lot of stuff happening in the Middle East. Could potentially be distracting us what's going on domestically and how this is going to impact us. I'm going to drop a little tidbit on someone that was passed on to me as we're paying attention.
4 more debates, by the way.
4 more debates they said on CNN. It
January
was the last
14th,
debate.
February 7th, February 19th, February 23rd.
Where are those debates at?
Let's see. One is in Des Moines,
All in the Midwest,
New Hampshire, Vegas, and Charleston.
Really?
Yes. I'm looking on Wikipedia right now, and it's definitely not fake.
If you have to qualify something.
You know what's crazy? I actually think the next debate coming up might be one of the first ones that Bloomberg is in.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
I'm interested to see how he enters this scene. Clearly right now, the media is pushing Biden and Warren, right? Clearly.
I don't know how true this is, but she took kind of a public L at one of her town hall meetings that must have went over hard.
Warren?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't kept up 100%. I usually don't keep up until the primaries are like really in full swing. But here's the real question. What candidate do you put up from the Democratic candidates? There's about 100 of them to beat Trump. Because it's harder than you think.
Oh, no, I think it's going to be exceedingly hard, especially if he manages to galvanize his base. So are we talking about, if you are looking at it from a far left view, people are definitely going to lean towards Bernie, right? He's captured that part. I think where it's undecided is the
centrist.
Yeah, the middle lane moderate Democrat, which people are, I believe, are longing for when you have such polar extremes going back and forth. When you have, Trump, who is a very divisive figure, and then you have someone like Bernie, and then you have people who are kind of in the middle, like, hey, can we get to a place where we have a functioning government? But I always say that's not going to happen with a 2-party system. I won't step up on my pulpit and get into that one. But I think someone like Bloomberg stepping in, I don't know how well he's going to do, but I do know that the chatter is it makes a lot of moderate Democrats feel a little bit better, right?
Sure.
Because they were leaning more towards Uncle Joe. I'm not buying into the hype.
That's the biggest mistake that the Democrats can make, I think.
So here's the thing about Uncle Joe. I'm not buying any of the press that he's lost a step, but what I am saying is that it's worked. Him being dragged through the mud the entire time through the debates has made him look more tired, because subjectively that's what you're starting to believe about the situation.
Sure.
But I think if you're a moderate, I think Bloomberg's probably going to be the best bet for you.
I agree. The issue with Biden is if he goes up on a debate with Trump, he's going to get flustered. He's going to fall into that word vomit that he does. He's going to say something completely out there stupid. And that's the issue with Biden. You have to pick a candidate that is going to be able to withstand what Trump is going to throw at you. He's a child. You have to go up there and argue with a child. He's going to throw insults at you. He's not going to answer the questions. He doesn't care. He's going to throw in like 37 "Make America Great Agains,"
right?
Which is ironic at this point.
If he would focus on, so some of this, we got to remember, there's always a bit of spillover, positively and negatively, for his administration.
Correct.
So he can take some credit for the economy, but he can't take all of it.
Not all of it.
And you can't believe that. And also you got to understand the way the economy works to know that a lot of this stuff is kind of in spite of some of the policies he's laid out. But we can't deny the man his credit. But if he would just get up there and talk about some of those issues and like had the hard facts with him, he would do so much better in a conversation. But he can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't.
Right. That's where we're going. Is he can't do that.
He can't. He cannot. And he can't do it for multiple reasons, Zach. One, because those who are completely in his corner, they've come to expect that type of energy from him every time he comes out, right? And it works for him. It works that he gets you off the topic and he actually starts attacking your character instead of your stance. And here's the thing, it's low-hanging fruit. I'm hoping that the pendulum after this election swings so hard to the middle and gets stuck there so we can actually get back to dealing with more pressing issues. Because right now we're at the precipice, we're at the pinnacle of showmanship for the election. Like, even in the Democratic debates, have you watched any of them?
Very little.
Dude, I can't tell you. There's so many times where I was like, "Is this scripted?" Right now, like, and I don't want to be that conspiracy theorist.
Right. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I'm like, is this made for TV drama right now? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, just what I'm looking at here, I'm just looking at the stock market trends for the last 10 years, for the last decade.
Yeah.
Right. We have been pretty steadily on an upward trend for 9 of the last 10 years. We did stagnate a little bit from like August of 15 to March of 16.
Yeah.
Which is an election period, right?
Change brings that type of fluctuation in the market. Yep.
Right. And we've just been on a steady incline for a long time.
Yeah.
I guess the recent growth, although we did have one of the biggest dips in history. I'm just looking at the Dow because you can market most of your research off of the Dow because it fluctuates not as hard as other things do. We did take one of the biggest dips in history. We took a 3,000 dip in between the end of November and the beginning of December of 18. But again, back on an increase. So we've been on a steady climb for a decade. So it's hard to say that how much Trump has affected that. It has to be the last 2 years for sure. I'll give him that. The last 2 years for sure. But I mean, in the last 2 years, we did what? We put sanctions on foreign trade. Yes. We put tariffs on foreign trade. We have constantly ridiculed and offended other foreign leaders. We have constantly gone backwards in many coal and fracking policies, including just opening up like a huge section of public lands for sale because apparently we don't need those anymore. We've gone backwards in a lot of things. And I actually saw a report recently that our coal consumption actually went down 18% from 18 to 19.
Also, environmentally, like I feel for a young woman like Greta, but if you look at the actual reports on the leading countries when it comes to most harmful regards to the environment, America's not in that conversation.
No, it's Asian countries.
It's China,
India. Right, all of the Asian countries. Apparently, Japan is really good. Apparently, Japan is like super clean. But it is all of those countries.
So I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, every administration can take a little bit of blame and yay from the previous administration, right?
For sure.
You can lay it there. I'm just trying to understand. So I'm going to choose my words carefully because I have friends who watch this, even though they don't comment on it. And I know I'm just going to get into a huge debate about this. But you got to be a realist about certain things, right? If a divisive figure is what you want, and you can handle having a divisive figure in the White House, you can never complain after Trump's out of office about another president, maybe if he's a liberal, being divisive, right? You're not being consistent in your viewpoint.
No, so there would be to either political side. Exactly. They don't care about being consistent. They care about being right. Or care about being the flavor of the day.
So, and that's the problem right there. You know who I respect? I respect the guy named people wanted to tout as the next potential conservative president. And he just simply said, and this is a man that has a great...
who was it again? I'm sorry. We missed that.
Ben Sasse. Sorry about that.
Okay.
You would actually like him a lot. Fiscally, he's an extremely intelligent fiscal analyst. Or something like that. If you look him up in Wikipedia, you'll see it. And people started approaching him about him maybe one day running for president. And I respected his answer because local government is extremely important. He's like, no, I have a community to serve, and I'm going to continue to serve that community until I feel like we're in a place where the next guy can step in and serve better than me.
Okay.
And that was it. That's the soundbite, right? And the numbers back it up. This is a man that's working to make his area better. And I think if we had more of that in local government and even smaller government in the community, we'd see a huger change, right? But what we have now is I don't know what we have now, to be honest with you, Zach. And I remember we were talking about this last week. My conservative views aren't based on just having a family, but it's supported by that, right? But it's not at the expense of other people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not at the expense of the hope of other people being able to live in America and have the opportunities that I've had. And I've been more fortunately blessed than more people that I know. But, we're in this place right now where you're right. People want to be right. They don't want to be consistent. And they definitely don't want to do what's correct.
Right. They want to do what makes themselves look good in this 2-day news cycle or whatever that we have. Right. It might even be less than that at this point.
We're definitely down to a 20-minute news cycle.
Right. Almost essentially is what it is. It's interesting to see. I'm not a Bernie fan, but to me, looking from just as a player in the market, Bernie might be the only person out there that actually legitimately has people's interest at heart.
Okay.
We've seen the fact that Trump doesn't, right? We've seen the fact that for the most part, Obama really didn't. We've seen for the fact that the most part, Bush's, Clinton's, none of those people really had the interest for the nation at heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to go in, you have to support your middle class and grow the middle class again, because it's essentially not there, right? It is poor, right. And then you pass a line and you're okay. And it's the political climate right now is so crazy that I don't know if you could go back to what it was.
So here's the interesting thing about Bernie, right? I mean, I'm not a Bernie supporter, and I don't agree a great deal that he says, but I respect his enthusiasm when he says it, and I understand what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
The one thing, and actually, let me not put this at Bernie's feet. My fundamental problem is the lack of consistency between not just the two parties, but between groups, right?
Yeah.
So you have New York, let's say New York City, but we're going to have to say New York State. New York City, though, is, that's what people think of when they think of New York State, is an extremely liberal area, right? And if you can protect, based on your constituents, reproductive rights for women in New York City, and you want people to be okay with that, correct? Like, they want the greater part of America to accept this is what we've decided as a community that is acceptable for us. So, and they've done that, and they've passed that legislation legally. But then when you look at another area like it wasn't Ohio, but it was somewhere in the South. I'll get you the numbers, where they said fundamentally, no, this is not what we're doing. We're not doing this, and this was voted on by our people in this community. Okay. Now you can't have a public outcry from the other side, like, no, what you're doing is wrong. It's like, well, wait a second, what you're doing could be perceived as wrong. If it was done legally, if it was passed through a vote, it's not wrong. It was done by the letter of the law. Now, if you're going to get into a moral stance on it, that's something entirely different, and having an opinion on the subject. But the fact of the matter is, are we going to allow states to govern themselves locally? Or we're going to continue to allow the public outcry to decide what's correct.
Right. So I was just looking up our New York State population by county, right? As to really think what, really where's the population density, right? It's Kings County, Queens County, New York County, Suffolk, Bronx, Nassau, Westchester. Right. Those are all in what? 200 square miles. And that's your population density, right? Westchester is by far the lowest one there. It's insane to me to think that the one of the most important cities in the country is in such an opposite climate than what the entire rest of that state is in.
Yeah.
Right? You go, the farther north you go in New York and the farther west you go in New York, you are in some of maybe the most conservative areas you could possibly be. Even in the area that we're in.
Yeah.
Is still majority, I would think, conservative. Versus, where it, in retrospect, where we are compared to New York City, we are close enough, but we are still a majority, I think, conservative area. But they have 80-something% of the population in that square, not even 200 miles, not even 150, 75.
Yeah.
75 might even be too much, right? It's so weird to be in a spot. At least California, most of California is liberal, right?
Except for Santa Clarita, son of Anaheim, and surprisingly, there's an area, a little pocket in California called Bank in Glendale, which you extremely conservative.
But even like you
the
go
vast majority,
but you go north. Go north in California. You get San Francisco, which is the most liberal area ever, right?
Dude, it's weird,
you get Sacramento, which is also liberal.
Yeah.
Right. But the city of New York doesn't represent the state of New York.
No.
But unfortunately, it does.
Right. Well, fiscally, it's you know what it is.
It's the reason why taxes here are so bad.
Yeah.
Right? New York City to Long Island, right? That strip should be its own state. Or pay different state tax. And let the rest of us breathe from that.
You were too young to remember this. I remember there was a time where Staten Island or I think it was Staten Island or Long Island, one of those islands of the borough system. I just always had this image in my head of it disintegrating into a mutant population.
It would. Let's be fair, it would.
But here's the thing. All right, listen, we're going into politics, and I this is something I enjoy talking about, but also I have to restrain myself a bit. The bottom line for me, not for you, is the inconsistency within the country right now, right? And then we have to start getting back to what were the founding fathers thinking? What are we talking about? The letter of the law? Are we discussing the spirit? And this becomes the age-old, nonsensical conversation. And I like Bernie's energy. I don't agree with him. I like AOC. I like AOC for having the ability to do what she's done. I don't agree with anything she says. And I definitely don't agree with Warren. And I definitely don't agree with anything that Trump says. And in fact, I've gone on record multiple times in our conversation saying the Conservative Party is going to have a lot of catching up to do to make up for what they've aligned them to. You can't. Anyway, but Harry and Meghan made it out, and God bless them too. And hopefully they come to it. They're moving to North America, by the way.
North America. It's a great place.
Here's the thing, though, right? I think Bloomberg has a better chance in the debate setting. To answer that question earlier, I just think he's gonna.
I don't know if he has your best chance, though.
But they've rubbed shoulders before, and I think he has the wit, not the wit, but the wherewithal to be able to go, hey, I am an actual billionaire.
Right. Bloomberg is worth money. Bloomberg was talking about just buying Fox News. Remember that?
Yeah.
He's like, who cares?
But he's enacted some some policies that are going to get brought up. He enacted the stop and frisk policy in New York City. People are going, that's going to come up.
Yeah.
And how you spin that conversation, so we'll see how it goes. But he's their best bet because Elizabeth Warren, she's going to. There's no way she makes it on the same stage with him, right?
No.
The entire leftist media is going to have to prop her up to help her get through that situation. They all have to spin. I think that's another thing that needs to stop. We need the media to step back from politics for a little while so we can all take a deep breath and get some facts versus.
So the issue with the stop and frisk thing, for example, Trump can't go and say that he doesn't like that because in 2016 he wanted the entire nation to do it.
Wait, I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about the Democrats. That's going to come up in that debate.
Oh yeah, but Bloomberg, like, yeah, I ran the most successful, city in the country. You guys can all
that part's not going to matter. What's going to matter is who strikes that chord first and how well they strike it, right? And then that's going to follow him, even if that person, what's her name? She's not even in the race anymore. The one that went after Joe Biden, and she had like a breakout moment for a second. Kamala Harris. Like her soundbite outlived her bid for the White House, and it's still going. So whoever brings that up first, that's going to become a huge talking point. Yeah. And then if he responds correctly, which is he's just going to have to put his foot down and say, hey, let's look at the data on some of the areas in which and why I enacted that. It was not a popular policy. It did ruin some lives, but it also had a positive effect. And that's just a fact, dude. Like, yeah. It's just a fact. It definitely did. It over-criminalized certain areas, but it did prevent a lot of things from happening too. And it's that gray area, how will history view it type of deal.
Yeah.
So maybe you should run, dude. I don't
like running.
No, not like physically. I mean, like running for president. I mean, like you're not running anywhere. We know that.
I hate.
So you're looking thick.
What's with that? Dude, I came in. I was looking good today when I came in.
Hey, yeah, I meant to say that, man. You had the button up on. Was that? Yeah. Saw you into?
Was it a what?
Did you have a cardigan on? What were you wearing?
No, I was wearing. So we can talk about this. I went to a store that's going out of business, not too far away from here. It's called Untuck It. It's actually like a really, really well-known brand. They make button-ups and polos and stuff that they're actually literally meant to not be tucked in. They're like kind of a shorter length, but a little bit nicer. They're usually like $50 to $100 shirts, right? I got 12 shirts and 2 jackets, including the one that you saw me wearing today and the one that's right there, for $100. That was the sale. I got 14 pieces for $100.
Nice.
So there's 2 bags over there with clothes still in them, because I have new shirts every day for 3 weeks.
You know what? And there's nothing like a new shirt too, right? And you just
feels good.
I mean, my wife bought me a nice suit to go on an interview for. I was going down in the Tribeca, Manhattan from New Rochelle. New shoes, new suit, new jacket, nice kind of like gray pea coat situation.
Oh, okay. I could dig it.
When I was on that Metro North heading into the city with my little briefcase, people stopped and said, "Sir, can you get out of my way, please? I'm trying to get to my..."
They don't say that in the city. You lying sack of everything. No, so yeah, I was I'm pretty much decked out in all Untuck It gear now. 2 jackets, 12 shirts.
And there are sponsors for this week, by the way, if no one knows.
Oh, right. Well, let me get our sponsored item. This hoodie that I bought. It's actually a really, really nice.
That's a nice hoodie. That's a nice hoodie.
It's not even really a hoodie. It's actually kind of a dress jacket.
Nice.
But the only thing I didn't realize, it doesn't have front pockets. It has these little clippy boys, but it's not really conducive to really put, hands in. But has like 3 inside pockets. It's incredibly warm. Unfortunately, I am a fat person, so I have to wear a 2X in this jacket. The other jacket's a 1X. This one didn't fit in a 1X, so I had to get in a 2. Thanks, Untuck It, for sending over the clothes. Sorry that I had to send the 1X back.
Yeah. I had a double-decker burger before I came down to film this.
Like, you made it yourself?
My wife made it for me.
Raw onions on it? A little bit of barbecue sauce?
A little cheese, some mustard, and had some potatoes with it. Delicious.
But like, what kind of like fried potatoes or like French fries?
No,
French fries or potatoes?
Baked.
But like the red potatoes, and you cut them in like thirds, and like you bake them. A little bit of olive oil on top of that. You crack some pepper on top of it.
I ate it too quick, and I didn't really savor it. I was freaking hungry.
Oh, hey, man, that sounds so good.
I had a Ross moment from friends. Someone ate my chicken sandwich at the school.
What? Did you want to kill
They were
someone?
lucky that I had a spare chicken sandwich.
You had a second. So I've been trying to find places, because I got a new job, that to eat. There's a diner that has the most kick-ass deal I've ever seen. You get
What's the deal?
$14 total with tax, $14.67 with tax. You get a bowl of soup. That's generous. You get a meal, which is like today I had a burger, which was a Texas burger, so it was burger,
Fried
cheese,
egg,
no fried egg. I was disappointed too. Texas or burger, barbecue sauce, cheese, onion ring. That's the burger with fries, coleslaw, and a pickle, and a dessert. $14, dude. $15. We're getting a 3-course meal. Delicious.
Next time you go to California, I want you to do something. I want you to brave something. There's a diner called the NoHo Diner, right? This is where I used to meet everyone when I would just have like little meetings and conversations with people throughout the day. Like meet me at the NoHo.
Not like a very unfun diner.
It's not fun. I'm telling you, like this place. I had a buddy eat food there one day with me, and he got the salmon, and I was just like, "This is the bravest man on earth." Because can you pull up a picture of the NoHo Diner?
Oh my god, dude! Who would eat salmon at this place?
And like, I want you to know, there's a park, North Hollywood Park, right next to it, and parks generally draw a lot of homeless people because, and it's a nice area like California where it's warm. It's a nice place to be homeless. Not nice to be homeless, but homeless people have somewhere to rest during the day. And they come use the facilities in NoHo Diner. So every once in a while you're eating your salmon burger, you'll get a whiff of something else while you're chomping.
That's amazing. I'm trying to think. I ate at a marina.
Oh,
and I can't.
Marina Del Rey, like somewhere in that area?
No, I don't remember where it was, but it was a restaurant at the end of the marina. It was the only thing that was there.
Really?
Yeah, and it was amazing. Oh my god, man! I wish I could remember what it was because I don't think this was it. It wasn't a big marina either, and I didn't drive that far away, but it was really good.
I miss California, man. I've had some of the best food I've had there. Dude, you like pho? You ever eat pho before?
Yeah, pho was really good.
There's some pho places in California. Amazing. We got the best Airbnb in North Hollywood, and my wife saw a pho place while we were driving. We whipped it right in there. This is when our oldest son was really young. Mathis was just joining us. They got some of the best pho ever. Delicious, clean too.
Good old
they
Mathis.
were so. I said his name live. Can you bleep that out, please?
No.
I promised that I would stop doing that. Oh wait, no, I could say their names. I cannot have them walk through. Never mind.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Rules, ladies and gentlemen.
What's this last one we got? What's it like being a dad?
No. Did you see Sony announced a car at CES this year? Does it not look exactly like the Tesla Model 3?
I mean,
that's the only thing. That's the only comment that I wanted to make. Was it looks exactly like a Tesla Model 3?
Let me just look at this here. I'll be the judge. It does. It looks nice, though.
It looks exactly like a Model 3, dude. That's all I wanted to. That's the only comment I wanted to make.
Any other features that are cool about it? Like what's the dash?
The dash looks crazy, dude.
Yeah.
The dash looks crazy. That was cool, but it looks exactly like a Model 3, and that's really it. That's all I wanted to get at.
We should probably save this last one for next week.
You think so?
Yeah, because what's it like being a dad in 20? That alone would keep you up for another 40 minutes.
But I don't mind being up. Let's save it.
Let's save it.
We'll save that for next week. It's a good question.
It's a really good question.
It's a really good question.
I saw it earlier. I got to tell you, it stumped me, and I was like, "Oh boy!" And then I remember what. I got to keep myself calm.
Yeah, let's keep it calm. We'll come back. We'll come back at you next week with it. This has been episode 13 of Talking with a Dad.
Good night.